China's EV price war is literally a bloodbath in China. We all know that, right? We're seeing what's happening. We're seeing manufacturers losing billions of dollars. NIO lost $3 billion last year. XPeng just under $1 billion. And that's just a small fraction of the billions of dollars lost in the EV industry, thanks to this crazy price war. But that price war is not just playing out in China. It's actually also playing out here in Australia. Why is that? Well, we live pretty close to China and we have no trade barriers on Chinese vehicles because we no longer have an automotive industry here in Australia. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And you know what? This is such an interesting time because China's having this crazy car wars. Really, I mean, BYD slashed their prices by so much. I don't think people can really get a full understanding of this. BYD are bringing out new versions of last year's EVs that are way better and they're 20% cheaper. I mean, that is staggering. But if you actually have a look at the best-selling EVs here for sale in Australia, well, they're all Chinese, or they're all at least all made in China anyway. And if you look at what's just happened, you can see that this price war is playing out here in a similar way. The BYD Seal here, starts at 50,000 Australian dollars. It probably sounds expensive. It's not at all. In fact, that's only about 30,000 US dollars. That's like selling a Tesla Model 3 for about $30,000. US dollars I'm talking about. Now, Tesla have slashed the prices of its EVs. The Model 3, even the Highland version of the Model 3, they've just discounted by $1,000 in response to BYD bringing out these crazy cheap prices for their EVs. BYD have slashed the price of the Atto 3. They've had to react to other Chinese car companies here in Australia. Now, looking at the top 10 list of the best-selling cars here in Australia, it really gives you an idea, an indication of what's going on. Tesla, they have the best-selling car here in Australia, obviously, the Tesla Model Y. It's dominating the market here in a similar way to, pretty well in a similar way to the way that Tesla dominates in Norway. Tesla sold well over 4,000 Model Ys last month. It was one of the, I believe it was actually the best-selling passenger car next to the Toyota RAV4. Anyway, those two cars sold like crazy. But the RAV4, none of them were purely internal combustion. They were plug-in hybrids. The Tesla Model Y, though, right after it just smashes the car market here in Australia, which it did. It literally did. I mean, the number of sales here when it comes to Tesla Model Y in comparison to all the other electric cars here in Australia is just staggering. But Tesla goes, you know what, that's not enough. They reduced the price by $8,500 right after these staggering sales numbers. Tesla go, you know what, we're going to offer you new paint options, which look way better than the old versions. We have some upgraded look to the exterior. It looks a bit nicer. And we're going to give you $8,500 discount. Now, the discounts were lower on the lower price model. So the long range discount was $5,500. The standard range model discount, I believe, is about $2,000. But anyway, the point remains. The Model Y is an extremely well-priced electric car. And Tesla are doing this in response to some of the competition. They're trying to maintain their massive market share here in Australia. With the Tesla Model 3 in second place, the new Highland, 1,638 deliveries, they easily outsold the third best-selling car in the country, which was the BYD Atto 3. But Tesla didn't just sit around and go, that's good enough. They actually reduced the prices again. Third place, the Atto 3, its price has been discounted by $3,000, making it an incredibly well-priced electric SUV. The BYD Seal, also insanely well-priced. It's priced probably around 10% lower than the Tesla Model 3 if you compare them spec for spec. Then you've got the MG4. MG have just revealed new discounts for all their EV models, drive-away prices. Basically, they're all about 10% cheaper, and they're extremely affordable. Then you have the BMW i4. That's more of a bit player here. There's not a whole lot of competition. They only sold 236 of them. But even the i4 price has been reduced. The BYD Dolphin, its price is it was actually the cheapest EV in Australia. But not for long. MG went and changed that. They made their vehicles cheaper. And then Aura. or Great Wall Motors. They sell the GWM Aura, and the price of that vehicle was extremely low. It's about $26,000 US. They've just discounted the price of that vehicle by around 10%. The drive away price is now around $36. So the actual price is around $34,000, meaning that's around a $22,000 electric car. It's not bad either. It's actually quite good. And the common denominator here between all of these vehicles is what? Well, they're all made in China. Even the Volvo XC40, Volvo promised it would not reduce its prices. Well, it did. It's also in the top 10. That's another Chinese-made vehicle. The majority of these top 10 sellers, all the most popular EVs in Australia, especially the cheapest ones, are made in China, predominantly by Chinese car companies. And of course, number 1 and 2 by Tesla in China. So the price war here rages on in Australia. But right now we only have, maybe 15 different models made in China. Soon there'll be 30, and then 40, and then 50. And this price war will only intensify. I believe we're going to see a very similar price war to what we're seeing in China, with massive numbers of models, massive numbers of choice, and automakers all fighting for market share, which will be a good thing for consumers. How will this play out for manufacturers? Well, I'm not so sure, but I predict China will take a huge share of Australia's car market. And the car companies that will suffer as a result will predominantly be, well, I honestly think it's predominantly going to be Japanese car manufacturers. They're not really taking electric cars all that seriously. And realistically, Ford, they sell pickup trucks. People who buy Ford pickup trucks, they're probably going to buy the new Ford hybrid or the plug-in hybrid and the new Ford electric pickup truck that they're manufacturing with Volkswagen. They're probably going to hold out for that. Ford fans, they love Ford. So Ford can kind of hold on to their truck sales, I think, for a few years, because we don't have a whole lot of electric trucks being made in China. They're not really going to compete that well with that sector. But the Chinese automakers do Japanese-sized vehicles really well. Smaller SUVs, mid-sized SUVs, even large SUVs. They're really dominating that market in China. And that is what I think they'll take first. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.